Hey, the Bears win over the Houston Texans by the score of 23-20 over at Soldier Field. We're talking about the Bears, brought to you by DraftKings at Casino Queen Sportsbook. You use the promo code WMVP for all of your sports betting needs. DraftKings.com. The Bears win over the Houston Texans at Soldier Field. We'll talk about the good, the bad, and some questionable with this game that took place on Sunday. First of all, the running game is the biggest strength for the Bears offense. 281 yards on 40 carries for the Bears offensively. And Khalil Herbert was outstanding. 20 carries, good for 157 yards. He was a monster. The running lanes were open because of the offensive line. Shout out to the offensive line, because whether it was David Montgomery or Justin Fields or St. Brown on a great play, or if it was Khalil Herbert, and the running lanes were open. And that is the strength of the Bears offense. The Bears have not had this much production running the football since 1984. That's good and that's bad. And I'll explain as we move forward. But the running game was really, really good for the Bears. And so you've seen over the last couple of games, the first game against San Francisco, and then this game here against Houston, the strength has been being able to get the ball on the ground and being able to get a lot of yardage. Also, take a look at the defense with Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson has gone through some personal issues, and I'm glad that he's trying to come out from underneath those personal issues to put some great play on the field. To see him being able to be opportunistic in the game against Houston Sunday was great. And Roquan Smith had the game-winning interception to help the Bears put themselves in a position for the game-winning field goal. Roquan Smith led the team in tackles, and so I'm always been a Roquan Smith fan. I was happy for him to be able to really make a big play for the Bears defensively. And so we had a few really good defensive plays by the Bears. However, when we take a look at this game, you'd rather beat the Texans than lose against the Texans. It just kind of shows you that the Bears have a long way to go here to be able to really garner some momentum. It was not a perfect game. They were able to win the game, but I'll look at the Bears defense first. For many, many years, we looked at the Bears defense as a strength of the team, whether it was knocking the ball out with Charles Tillman and being able to get takeaways, or whether it was being able to get the key interception and to go the other way. The defense has been the strength for the team for as long as I can remember. But in this situation against the Texans, it was bend, break, and bust at times, because Davis Mills, the quarterback for the Texans, actually outplayed Justin Fields because he did have some time to throw. He was able to connect to his wide receivers and be able to throw the ball over the middle of the field, where the linebackers and secondary are a little bit behind. They're a step slow trying to be able to get to the receivers for the Texans. So that was an issue. The big playability for some teams against the Bears defense is a problem, and that has to be able to get solved this year if the Bears want to stay into a lot of ball games moving forward. That was very sketchy out there on Sunday, but when they need to make big plays, they did to help the Bears win. As far as Justin Fields is concerned, 8 for 17, good for 106 yards. He was sacked 5 times, and we saw Justin Fields be able to connect to the tight end, Cole Kmet. 2 receptions, the first 2 of the season for Cole Kmet. We're in game 3. He's just not getting receptions. Also, Darnell Mooney was able to get a couple of catches as well. And so when you take a look at 8 for 17 for 106 yards, you're not going to win many ball games like that. Pedestrian offense does not get you where you need to be in the National Football League. Watch every other game in the NFL and you see the ball and the offense go vertically. That's just not good enough. It wasn't. Even though we did see Justin take some shots down the field, that was a positive sign. But then he took a couple of shots down the field and got intercepted. All I know is this, is that there's going to be growing pains with this whole team. Defensively, offensively, even special teams put the Bears in a bad spot to allow the Texans to put some points on the board. It's all a work in progress for this team. And so as far as Justin Fields is concerned, yeah, he's going to go out there, he's going to make some mistakes, and he's going to actually make some big plays as well. But it's not going to be a perfect quarterback or a perfect offense this year. It's just not. And so if you watch the game, you saw that Justin Fields did have some time to throw, was not able to read the receivers. I was glad he was able to get on his horse a little bit and kind of run with the football. That was good. But there's going to be good. There's going to be some bad, some ugly with this offense. And so looking at what we saw here, I mean, he put the Bears at times in positions to be able to succeed. You want 7 instead of 3 points on the board at times. That's going to get better, I'm sure, as time progresses. This year, we will see. Put in the comments your thoughts about the Bears and their win against the Houston Texans. Again, you'd rather win that game than lose it. But for me, there was so many things that was going on. There was a mixed bag of things where it's like, wow, is this game going to end up in a tie? But it did not. The Bears found a way to make just one more play or a couple more plays than the Houston Texans. I want you to think about the end of that first quarter as well, the first half as well. End of that first half, the Bears just kind of just decided to just walk off the field instead of being able to try to put the ball in play. Does the coaching staff have faith in Justin Fields to be able to make plays on third down or fourth down? Time will tell on all of this. All I know is that all of this is a season in transition, a work in progress for everybody. What'd you think of the game today? Bears win. Bear down.